Namo Myoho Renge Kyo, Namo Myoho Renge Kyo, Namo Myoho Renge Kyo. Hi, hope you're in good health and secure. Thank you for being here and for your practice. Let's get right into it. MahaPariNirvana Sutra. We are in the very important chapter on dissecting the Tathagata and the Tathagata field, how to interpret it. And at times, we get a little bit of word salad in the translation here. I don't know if the communication is difficult to translate from Sanskrit or if this is, I think most of this is from the Chinese translations that Kumarajiva did, assembled this volume of teachings, this sutra, yeah. But nevertheless, after over some 40 years or longer of practice and research myself, and relying on many sources, the meaning becomes clearer and clearer, and I can, with a great amount of certainty, tell you that as I'm translating these or transliterating these, I'm finding a lot of, bias from the author, bias from several generations of language enthusiasts who've gone at this text, who are both Buddhist and non-Buddhist, a lot of non-Buddhists. And so Christian, all sorts of different, even Islamists have looked at these texts, and they've applied the language and the vernacular they're familiar with to the concepts, but unknowingly, or maybe knowingly in some cases, that would be more the Buddhists, ironically, inflect their own vernacular in order to shift meaning or cloud it altogether. And so when you read a lot of these translations, wherever you get them, they tend to be, word salad, difficult to follow. And so my mission with this resource, as you know, the website, the bookstore, even the podcasts, everything I do is to sift through all of this language to get to the kernels of the teaching, the truth, as close as we can assimilate it with a little bit of words, yeah? But as Shakyamuni said himself so many times, don't rely on the words. And he's doing it again. He's saying rely on the insight that comes through reading and rereading and practicing and opening your Buddha mind. And you too will see clearly through all the words to the meaning, the core principles. Yeah? And he's doing that right now with the Tathagata. And yet, I had to go through these entire volumes and try to untangle this, and you'll see it. You'll go on the internet, and you'll find that Tathagata and Buddha are treated as though they're the same thing. Now, if you're a long-standing Buddhist and you understand the difference, you could perhaps be forgiven for saying that from time to time. But truly, and I want to be abundantly clear, they're different things. The universe, the engine of creation, of life, has unknowable ways of manifesting, expressing its potential. Potential, by definition, doesn't have a state. It is a potential for a state. A state is already a thing. Yes? So Tathagata is that. It's a potential. It's an energy predilection toward. And as all energies form from fields, form into the presence of a particular field like an electron or a proton or a photon or whatever, and the way they interact or combine or don't combine, their tendencies and conditions also expressed as different atoms, different molecules, different structures, complex structures, simple structures like a star, complex structures like animals, human beings. Everything is being. Our sun is being. Our earth is being. Our lakes are being. You and I are being. We are human beings. We are humans that are in a process called being. Right? In that process, we have the potential to realize consciousness. You might say that our entire structure, this apparatus of the body, in the state that it is in a state that can accomplish, that can emerge a mind with multitudes of consciousness. Eye consciousness, oral consciousness, taste consciousness, smell consciousness, sensation consciousness, awareness consciousness. Can we train that awareness consciousness to dig deeper into its nature, its tathagata-ness, which is the potential to see, to experience moment to moment this huge momentum of the engine of life? Can we do that? Can we rip away its attention from the incessant multitude of distractions, of things, of collecting, of possession, of seeking? Just be aware right here of everything, moment to moment to moment to moment to moment. Can we do that? Yeah, that's Buddhahood. Can we do that? Can we at least enliven that Buddhahood to keep an eye on the other consciousnesses so that we can see what we are doing to our own mind? Wow, that's some awareness, yeah? So, here he goes again. Shakyamuni talking to our buddy Kashyapa. If all things have no self, he says, and the undisclosed store of the Tathagata field has no self, common mortals say that the nature is two. Like they're different things. You see the line he's treading here? But the wise know that it is not two, and that not two is the real nature. Right? It's not self, it's not no self. So what is it? Because it is, right? And he talks about ising. When you talk about ising, are you talking about, this? Are you talking about this pen is? Because that's not the is he's talking about, although sometimes he does. You got to really read through the whole sentence, right? Does this have a self, this pen? Or does it have no self? It has something else. It's an expression, moment to moment to moment to moment to moment. You know how they make film? I've talked about this a long time ago. What is film? Video. It's the capturing of many, many, many single moments of pictures seen rapidly, one after another, giving us an illusion of momentum, of movement. Right? How many frames? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 24 frames? Film? 30 frames per second? Right? That's what that means. How many pictures are we viewing one after another of moments of time and stringing them together into this illusion of something permanent? It's only existing for a fraction of a second, right? 30 frames per second, 30 moments And I've already explained to you, right, the Max Planck length of a moment, right? 0.43 zeros of a second. That's so many moments. No wonder it looks so fluid. But do you have the awareness to see what everything is at one particular moment? Freeze it, freeze it, freeze it, freeze it. Does it exist or does it not exist? It's constantly in transition. It's momentum, right? There cannot be two things of self and non-self. There cannot be two things of self and non-self. This is what the undisclosed store of the Tathagata refers to. Walking over my tongue this morning. Right? Tathagata is that momentum. And that momentum can be applied to absolutely anything. How many things? Innumerable things. Innumerable because it's potential. Oh, here we go. This is what is praised by uncountable, innumerable, boundless numbers of all Buddhas. All Buddhas being what? Expressions of that Tathagata-ness. You are one. I am one. Our friend, right? I now, in this all-perfect sutra, explain all. There is the not two in the nature and characteristics of self and non-self. You should take things thus. O good man, you should strongly uphold and think about such sutras, the meaning of what is being said here. I have already stated in the MahaPariNirvana Sutra, right, the perfection of wisdom, that there are not the two phases or aspects or phenomena of self and non-self. They're not two things in themselves or phases of a singular thing. They're ideas, they're vaporware. Yeah? Software developers out there know what I'm talking about. The case is thus: from fresh milk we get cream, from cream fresh butter, from fresh butter clarified butter, and from clarified butter ghee. What he's saying is it's a process. And from one state of energy to an electron, to an atom, to a molecule, one begets the possibility of the other. Right? You and I and the earth didn't just pop out of the, ether? And wait for all the other bodies in the universe to pop along? No, there was an order to things. Was it logical? It was logical on an intimate scale. But where it was going? Was there a programmer? No, it was the tendencies and conditions of each thing as it manifests, when it manifested, at the rate it so many variables. This is why Shakyamuni and Nichiren constantly remind us of the incredible fortune to be born a human being. Because only with the volition and the steady determination that a human being has can we harness our mind and focus it on its Buddha nature, we can throw the process a curveball. We have agency. We also have the agency to fool ourselves and play anything, no matter how serious, like it's a game. There's plenty of TV shows that talk about that. Get in the fight, get in the game. Well, I'm telling you, if you're going to get in the fight for your enlightenment, not for the fight. Right? Okay, let's continue. Does the nature of the cream come from the milk itself or from without? Does the milk decide to be cream? Or does somebody convince the milk to be cream? And the same is the case with ghee. If it comes from without, it is something made by another and not something come out of the milk itself. If it does not come out of the milk has nothing to do with its coming about. If it comes out of the milk itself, it cannot come out in any similar way and continuously. If it comes out continuously, it cannot come out together. If it does not come out together, the 5 tastes cannot be for once only. Though not for once only, it cannot definitely come about from other places. Know that in the milk there is already the phase or the element or the aspect of cream. It's a potential of milk, but it must be cultivated. Yeah? I mean, this is such a wonderful analogy he's sharing with the monks, yeah? If you understand. As it possesses much sweetness, it cannot change. The same with ghee. When the cow feeds on the grass of watery places, its blood changes and we get milk. Well, as far as they understood biology back then, yeah? But you get the point. It's going through a process in the cow. If the cow feeds on sweet grass, the milk becomes sweet, and on bitter grass, the milk becomes bitter. We know this. We know that what you feed yourself, anything that consumes food for what? Energy, produces energy that is influenced by that food. Yeah, we know this. That's proven. Biology has proven this. Any farmer will tell you this. In the Himalayas, there is a type of grass called pinodni. Pinodni. If the cow feeds on this, it will produce pure ghee, and there will be no such color as blue, yellow, red, white, or black. The grass and cereals work upon or affect the color and taste of milk. 2 aspects come out of all beings by the karmic relations of brightness and ignorance. When the gloom changes, brightness comes about. The case is the same with the good and not good of all things. There can be no 2 aspects. So this is a little slippery because of language. But clearly, he's saying something is in the condition it is, and that's what it is. Whether it could be something else would require a different process. Bodhisattva Kashyapa says to Shakyamuni Buddha, after hearing all of this, O world-honored one, you, Shakyamuni Buddha, say that there is cream in milk. What does this mean? O world-honored one, if there definitely is cream in milk, and if it is true that it cannot be seen because of the minuteness of its size, how can we say that cream comes about through the casual relations of milk. I guess he's never seen butter being churned from raw milk. How could he ask such a silly question? When things originally have no root element, we can say that the thing is born. So he's taking the side that Shakyamuni previously said is, does the cream come about on its own, or does it have to be intervened by somebody else to change the milk into it? But obviously, if you can intervene to change the milk into ghee, then the possibility of ghee had to exist in the milk before it was cultivated, yeah? He doesn't get it. If it exists already, how can we say that life comes about? Or Buddhahood, for that matter. It is, whoa. Gotta take a look at that. What the heck is going on there? I think it says, is it the case that there definitely is cream in the milk? There must be milk in all grass. Interesting. Likewise, there must be grass in milk, too. Well, he's as much as said so. That's why it has the flavors and colorings of being grass-fed. But Kashypa's jumping to the grass and saying milk must be in the grass. If the situation is that there definitely is no cream in milk, how can cream come out of milk? If there is no root element, but it later comes about, how could it be that grass cannot grow in milk? Oh, good man, do not say that there definitely is cream in milk, or that there is not cream in milk. That's not the meaning of what I'm saying. The cream isn't there waiting. It's a potential of milk through a process. Just like you have innate Buddhahood, but you have to endure a process in order to cultivate your consciousness into the ninth consciousness, Buddhahood, yes? But Kashypa's not quite getting it. He's saying Buddhahood is resting in here right next to your pancreas, and you got to dig it out. No. Okay. I'm sorry, I lost my spot. If there definitely is cream in milk, how can it be that the thing and taste differ? That is why you should not say there definitely is cream in milk. If there definitely is no cream in milk, why is it that something different does not come about in the milk? If poison is put in the milk, the cream will kill a person. That is why you should not say that there is definitely no cream in milk. Further, if we say that cream comes from outside the milk, why is it that cream does not come about in water? Right? You're saying the process is what enables the cream to come out. But if there's no cream, then the process doesn't yield automatically butter from water or anything else, only from milk, right? He's making the point rather well, I think. The milk comes out of the grass and blood, but we cannot say that there are the two. All we can say is that the conditions so bring it about. Tendencies and conditions, tendencies and conditions. It's always in here. This we can say. From cream up to ghee, things go thus. The case here is the same. Because of this, we can rightly say that there is the taste of the cow, because it's involved in the process. This milk dies away, and in consequence, there comes about cream. What is the condition? It is sour, or warm. Because of this, we can say that it comes from conditions. The situation is the same with the others, up to ghee. Because of this, we cannot say that there definitely is no cream in milk. If it comes from elsewhere, it must exist separately from the milk. This cannot be. So, O good man, the same is the case with brightness and ignorance. Of that which is bound up by all illusions, we say ignorant. If linked to all good things, there can be brightness. That is why we say that there can be no two things. So I said, quote, there is a grass in the Himalayas called ponodni, which, if eaten by the cow, produces ghee. The same is the case with the Buddha nature. O good man, beings are sterile in fortune and do not come across this grass. The same applies to the Buddha nature. As defilement overspreads them, beings cannot see. That awareness I was talking about, yes? For example, the water of the great ocean tastes salty all the same, but it contains in it the best of water, as in the case of milk. Also, the Himalayas are perfect in various virtues and produce various medicines, but there are also poisonous herbs. It is the same with the bodies of all beings. There are the 4 poisonous serpents, but there is also present the king, the great king of all wonderful medicine. So-called Buddha nature is not something that has been made. Only it is overspread by defilement. Only a person who thoroughly cuts it away, whether he be a kshatriya, a brahmin, a yaishya, or sudra, sees the Buddha nature and attains unsurpassed enlightenment. For example, should the thunder roll in the sky, the clouds disperse and all the tusks of the elephants will be covered with flower petals. If there is no thunder, the flowers do not come about. That refers to folklore stories that you and I aren't familiar with. So he's making the point in a vernacular that those monks would be familiar with. Also, this is as in the case where there is no denotative name. The same is also the case with the Buddha nature of all beings. It is always overspread by various defilements and is not seen. That is why I say that beings do not possess the self. If one is rewarded with hearing the all-wonderful MahaPariNirvana Sutra, one sees the Buddha nature. This is as in the case of the flowers on the tusks of the elephant. One may hear all about the samadhis of the sutras, but if one does not hear this sutra, one cannot get to the wonderful form of Shakyamuni Buddha. It is as when there is no thunder, when one no longer sees flowers on the tusks of the elephant. On hearing this sutra, one comes to know the undisclosed or latent Buddha nature, about which Shakyamuni Buddha speaks. This is like seeing the flowers on the tusks of the elephant. On hearing this sutra, all innumerable beings come to know that this is the Buddha nature. Because of this, I speak about great MahaPariNirvana and say that I augment or expand the Dharma body. Remember, body, not this body, but the body of, like the body of the ocean. It's immense. And if you were able to bring water from some other place than the earth and dump it in the ocean, you would have expanded the body of the ocean. The undisclosed store of the Tathagata field. This is as with the thunder, when flowers fall upon the tusks of the elephants. As this long upholds and nurtures the great meaning. This is called the MahaPariNirvana Sutra. If any good man or woman learns this all-wonderful sutra of the great MahaPariNirvana, they should know that they are doing work of thanksgiving and are true disciples of Shakyamuni Buddha. You know, it's funny, I was thinking earlier while chanting that, I don't know if I'm going to promote this or not, but I thought, what if once a month, and I do promote this, we did a really slow shodai. I mean, I'm not talking about slow gongyo for learning, for pronunciation, for helping others learn gongyo. I'm talking about simply chanting, but chanting in a very slow, deliberate way, looking at every character on your mandala, right? All 7. But you notice what's at the bottom, anchoring that, is Nichiren's presence, yeah? Nichiren's sign of being. And so what might be interesting to try is to do a very slow shodai gong or shodai, and at the end of each series of 7 characters, quietly express gratitude to Nichiren, or for Nichiren, or however you want to say it. Thank you, Nichiren. Namu Myoho. And you know the charts that I gave you, and they're on the website if you want to download them, that have several different little ways of your presence at the Butsudan, right? Whether you're thinking of yourself in this huge assembly of the appearance of the Treasure Tower chapter in the Lotus Sutra, or whether you're transposing that into a different time when Nichiren was about for his mandala capturing that ceremony, and envisioning the mandala being lucid and floating in the air like the treasure tower. However you want to visualize it in your mind, just for that moment, when you're chanting the characters, be aware of what you're actually committing to and what each character represents. That's what the charts are good for. They give you some kind of an idea how to transpose that, just to get you into the meaning, and offering gratitude to the Bodhisattva who gave you this amazing tool. I was going to say magnificent tool that can so quickly, immediately, determinedly train that awakened 9th consciousness to come forward, to be all-consuming. I believe this is what he's saying here. We're doing the work of thanksgiving, this translator says. Bodhisattva Kashyapa, upon hearing all this, says to Shakyamuni Buddha, "It is exceptionally wonderful." Yes, it is. "O world-honored one, the so-called Buddha nature is profound to know. It is hard to see and attain. Shravakas and Pratyeka Buddhas cannot hope to partake of it." And see, we're still at this time. You know how the Shravakas, Pratyeka Buddhas especially, were really trashed a lot by Shakyamuni. He was upset with them being so stuck in their practice. Called them Ichantikas. You'll never awaken your Buddha nature. What an indictment from Shakyamuni himself. But that changed. That changed in the Lotus. And since this is translated this way, I have to imagine Kashyapa is speaking for those who didn't get that. They didn't understand that in the Lotus. Sad. Shakyamuni Buddha said, "O good man, it is thus, it is thus. It is thus as you praise it. It does not differ from what I say." Bodhisattva Kashyapa said to Shakyamuni Buddha, "O world-honored one, to what extent is the Buddha nature profound, and how difficult is it to perceive and get into?" I think, you know what? I think on that, we're going to go to commercial. And I'm going to save Shakyamuni's response for the next video. But if any of you have practiced for over 5 years, you could probably answer this question. Anyway, thank you for listening. Again, nothing but gratitude for your work in doing this, your dedicated practice, your support. Don't forget, below there's in the descriptions tons of links to whether you want to be a patron on Patreon or straight through what's it called, PayPal. Your donations, they're everything. They keep me going here. They keep paying the bills so I can keep producing these videos. So Namo Myo Nengekyo, we all are thankful for that. Yeah. And if you can't do that, it's not a problem. The main thing is practice and your confidence in your practice, right? So if you have a moment, please, by all means, like and subscribe. That does so much to the algorithms in YouTube to present this information, this course material, this entire resource to more and more people, right? In the meantime, as I always say, take care of your health, and I'll see you in the next one, all right? So that means bye for now.